My name is Erica Great, and I'm 35 years old. I used to believe that if a marriage survived 6 years shared bills and quiet weeknights on the couch, it was solid enough to withstand anything. I was wrong, but not in the loud, dramatic way people expect. It didn't break with screaming or slammed doors. It broke with a lie so casual it almost slipped past me. My husband and I had been married for 6 years. No kids yet. Honestly, I wasn't rushing it. We both worked full-time. He was in event planning, long hours, unpredictable schedules. I worked in software development, steady, structured, logical. We balanced each other, or at least that's what I told myself. We bought our house 3 years ago. Mortgage split evenly. Comfortable, adult, responsible. Boring in the best way. Last Thursday started exactly like that, boringly normal. Around 6:00 p.m., I texted him from my office. New Italian place downtown just opened. Want to grab dinner? A few minutes later, his reply came in. Feeling awful. Think I'm coming down with something. Going to stay in bed tonight. Order whatever you want, babe. I didn't question it. Why would people get sick? Husbands get tired. I felt bad for even suggesting dinner. On my way home, I stopped at the grocery store and grabbed soup, crackers, ginger tea, the small automatic acts of care you don't even think about when you trust someone. I got home around 7:30 p.m. The house was quiet. Too quiet maybe, but I assumed he was asleep. I set the soup on the counter and texted him. I got you soup. You okay? No response. 8 o'clock passed. Then 8:20. Finally a reply. Still at the office, wrapping up. Heading home now. Feeling worse. Might go straight to bed. It didn't bother me. Not then. I ate alone. Watched TV, folded laundry. Around 9:15 p.m., I heard the front door. He walked in, barely looked at me, muttered that he felt awful and went straight upstairs. Bedroom door closed. Locked. I remember thinking it was strange locking the door, but I brushed it off. People want space when they're sick. I stayed downstairs not wanting to bother him. At 10:30 p.m., my phone buzzed. It was my mother. Is this your husband? A photo followed. The image didn't make sense at first. My brain refused to process it. Then it did all at once. There he was, not sick, not in bed, wearing a fitted black shirt I'd never seen before, a drink in his hand. Another woman's hands on his waist, smiling, laughing. The background unmistakable, the VIP section of one of the most expensive clubs downtown. I stared at that photo for a long time, long enough for something inside me to go very still. I went upstairs. The bedroom door was locked. I knocked once. Hey, you awake? No answer. Again louder. Are you okay? Silence. I used a thin key from my tea set to unlock the door. The room was empty. The window was open. That's when it clicked. He didn't just lie. He planned this. The sickness, the locked door, the open window, sneaking out like a teenager instead of facing his wife. Something snapped, but not in anger. It was clarity, cold and absolute. I went to the garage, pulled out every suitcase we owned, and started packing. Clothes, shoes, toiletries, everything. It took about 90 minutes. I dragged all 4 suitcases to the curb, lined them neatly under the streetlight, and took a photo. I texted him. Sleep anywhere but here. Attached the photo. Then I attached the club photo my mom sent. Mom says hi. I changed the locks that night, paid a 24-hour locksmith without blinking, disabled his access to everything garage code, smart lock, fingerprint app. When he came back at 2:45 a.m., I watched through the camera as confusion turned into panic. I didn't open the door. For the first time in months, I slept deeply, and I had no idea how much worse things were about to get. I woke up Friday morning to a strange kind of quiet. Not the peaceful kind, the kind that feels like the air itself is waiting to see what you'll do next. For a split second, I wondered if the night before had been a dream. Then I checked the cameras. The suitcases were gone. I didn't feel relief, I felt confirmation. Apparently, sometime around 4:00 a.m., my husband had come back with his sister and loaded everything into her car. No note, no apology, no attempt to talk, just damage control. It was exactly the kind of move I'd come to recognize too late, avoid accountability, minimize retreat to family. I got ready for work like it was any other Friday. Showered, coffee, laptop bag over my shoulder. The routine steadied me. Normalcy can be a form of armor. Around 10 a.m., my phone started lighting up with calls from unknown numbers. I ignored them. Then my office phone rang. Reception. Erica, your husband is here. He's in the lobby. He's insisting on seeing you. My chest tightened, but my voice stayed calm. He's not authorized to be here. Please have security escort him out. I pulled up the security feed on my screen, watched him argue, watched him gesture wildly, pointing toward the elevators like sheer entitlement might override policy. When security threatened to call the police, he finally left, throwing one last look back like I'd betrayed him. At lunch, my mother called. "You're not going to believe this," she said, already halfway through a laugh. "His mother just called me screaming that I ruined her son's marriage by sending you that photo." And I asked. I told her maybe her son shouldn't have been grinding on another woman while pretending to be sick at home. I laughed then. A real laugh. Short, sharp, necessary. That afternoon, the messages started coming in from people who weren't in my marriage but felt entitled to opinions about it. His best friend. His cousin. Someone I barely knew from a barbecue 3 years ago. The tone was always the same. "You overreacted. It was just dancing. You humiliated him. You're being cold," I replied once. He lied about being sick. Snuck out a window, let another woman put her hands all over him. But sure, I'm the problem. Then I blocked them. Saturday morning at exactly 9:00 a.m., pounding rattled my front door. I checked the camera. My husband, his sister, his mother. All three looked ready for war. I opened the door, but kept the chain on. His mother spoke first. "You need to let him back in. This is his home." "No," I said evenly. "It's my house. I bought it before the marriage. He contributes to the mortgage. That doesn't give him the right to lie, sneak out, and disrespect me." My husband stepped forward, eyes already glossy. "Erica, please. We need to talk. I made a mistake." "You didn't make a mistake," I said. "You made a plan." His sister scoffed. "You're being dramatic. He went dancing." He lied, snuck out a window, locked himself in the bedroom to maintain the lie. The dancing is just the cherry on top. His mother's voice sharpened. "We'll call the police." "Go ahead," I said. "Explain how your son abandoned the marital home after being caught lying." They didn't move. Then he tried again. Softer this time. "I'll change. I love you." "You love me enough to lie to my face and climb out a window," I replied. "We're done." I closed the door. They stayed outside, yelling for 15 minutes before leaving. Sunday was quieter. Too quiet. A few more messages. All blocked. Then, around 3:00 p.m., an email landed in my inbox. From a lawyer, demanding I allow my husband back into the marital home within 48 hours or face legal action. I forwarded it to a divorce attorney I'd consulted with on Friday. She called me within the hour. "So she said the house is solely in your name?" "Yes." "Good. His lawyer is bluffing. I recommend we file first." "Do it." Monday morning, the paperwork was filed. By Monday evening, the tone of the messages changed. Threats. "You'll regret this. I'll take you for everything." I forwarded every single one to my lawyer. She sounded almost pleased. "Excellent," she said. "Keep documenting." That was when I realized something important. This wasn't about reconciliation. This was about punishment. And he wasn't done yet. By Tuesday morning, the adrenaline had worn off, leaving behind something heavier: focus. I stopped reacting emotionally and started treating everything like a case file. Screenshots, call logs, security footage, dates and timestamps. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't send long messages. I let the paper trail speak for me. That turned out to be the smartest thing I could have done. My lawyer walked me through the next steps with a calm, almost clinical precision. Divorce filed. Grounds cited irreconcilable differences and abandonment of the marital home. The irony wasn't lost on me. He left, but somehow I was being accused of cruelty. By Monday afternoon, he was officially served at his sister's place. By Monday night, my phone was exploding again. This time, the messages weren't pleading. They were hostile. "You think you're so smart. I'm not going to let you ruin my life. You started a war." I didn't respond. I forwarded everything to my lawyer, who replied with a single sentence. "Keep them coming." 2 weeks later, we were in court. His lawyer filed an emergency motion demanding temporary spousal support and exclusive use of the house, claimed my husband was financially dependent on me, claimed I'd made him homeless out of spite, claimed emotional cruelty. My lawyer countered calmly. She presented proof of his income, proof that he worked full-time and earned a respectable salary, proof that he left the home voluntarily after being caught lying, proof that the house was my premarital property purchased years before we married. The judge listened without interrupting. Then he turned to his lawyer. "Let me understand this," the judge said. "Your client lied about being ill, left the home under false pretenses, was photographed in a compromising position with another woman, and now claims entitlement to property he does not own." His lawyer stammered something about marital contribution and good faith residence. The judge shook his head. Motion denied. He ordered my husband to pay his own legal fees for the frivolous filing, Temporary spousal support was granted $800 a month. Modest, manageable. My lawyer leaned toward me and whispered that it was lower than expected. I exhaled for the first time in days. Outside the courtroom, his mother approached me, tears streaming down her face, voice trembling. "You're destroying my son," she cried. "He's broken because of you." I looked at her steadily. He broke himself when he chose to lie and disrespect his marriage. I just stopped pretending it was okay. She lunged at me, tried to slap me. She missed. Security saw everything, escorted her out. My lawyer immediately requested a witness statement. That was when I knew this wasn't just messy anymore. It was going to get ugly. And the worst part, I could feel it. The retaliation hadn't even started yet. The first sign that things were about to spiral came on a Friday evening, 2 weeks after the court hearing. I pulled into my driveway just after sunset and immediately knew something was wrong. The front door was open. Wide open. Not cracked, not unlocked. Open. My stomach dropped. I didn't go inside. I called the police from my car, hands shaking just enough to notice. They arrived within minutes, swept the house, and found no forced entry, no broken windows, no damaged locks. But someone had been inside. The bathroom was trashed. Towels dumped into the tub. Trash scattered across the kitchen floor. My bedroom closet emptied hangers clattering across the hardwood like evidence of rage. The officers asked if anyone else had access. I didn't say his name. I didn't need to. They filed a report, told me without proof there was little they could do. But the report mattered. My lawyer wanted it immediately. The cameras showed nothing. Whoever did this knew exactly where they were and where they weren't. I changed the locks again that night, added interior cameras. Cost me $600, worth every cent. Saturday morning, I walked outside to find my car vandalized. Deep scratches down both sides. The word liar carved into the hood. Another police report, insurance claim. Dash cams installed front and back. Sunday, my boss called. Someone had filed an anonymous HR complaint accusing me of embezzlement and sexual harassment. It was baseless, completely fabricated. HR investigated, found nothing, closed it. But sitting in that office, explaining myself, proving innocence, I shouldn't have had to prove it drained something from me. Then came Monday. The police called. My husband had filed a report claiming I'd stolen his jewelry collection, $15,000 worth, according to him. I went to the station, gave a statement, showed them the photos of the suitcases, the timestamps, the messages, explained he had taken everything the night he left. The officer looked skeptical, but procedure is procedure. 3 hours later, I walked out exhausted. My lawyer called the next morning. "They're trying to provoke you," she said. "They want you to react. Don't." I didn't. Wednesday, a settlement offer arrived. He wanted half the house, half my retirement, 3 years of spousal support, his car payments covered. My lawyer laughed out loud. Absolutely not. Thursday was quiet. Friday morning, my mother called. "You're not going to like this," she said. His lawyer subpoenaed me. For what? For the club photo. They're claiming I stalked him. I nearly dropped my phone. "A club isn't private," I said. "And you weren't stalking anyone." "I know," she replied, "but this tells you how desperate they are." I hung up and stared at the wall. This wasn't about heartbreak. This was about control, and he was losing it. By the time the final hearing arrived, I felt strangely calm, not numb, prepared. Every attempt to intimidate me, every false claim, every petty act of retaliation had done the opposite of what my husband intended. He thought chaos would weaken me. Instead, it clarified everything. The courtroom was quiet in that sterile, indifferent way that makes emotions feel small and exposed. My husband sat at the opposite table, shoulders stiff, jaw clenched, eyes fixed anywhere but on me. His mother and sister sat behind him, whispering sharply, already braced for a fight they didn't realize they'd lost weeks ago. My lawyer stood and began methodically. Not dramatically, not emotionally, chronologically. She laid out the lie about being sick, the locked bedroom door, the open window, the club photo, the suitcases, the changed locks, then the aftermath harassment messages, workplace confrontation, the denied emergency motion, the home intrusion, the vandalized car, the false HR complaint, the jewelry theft report, the subpoena against my mother. Each piece alone might have sounded messy. Together they painted a pattern of deception, entitlement, and escalation when control was denied. His lawyer tried to spin it, claimed emotional abandonment, claimed I overreacted to a harmless night out, claimed his client was seeking comfort, not betrayal. The judge listened, then leaned forward. "Sir," he said, looking directly at my husband, Did you lie to your wife about being ill? My husband hesitated. Yes. Did you leave the marital home without her knowledge? Another pause. Yes. And did you engage in intimate physical contact with another woman at a nightclub that night? He swallowed. Yes. The judge nodded slowly as if confirming something he already knew. Final ruling came swiftly. No claim to the house. It was my premarital property. Mortgage contributions were considered rent. No division of retirement accounts. Each of us kept our own. The joint savings, $8,000, split evenly. Spousal support remained at $800 a month for 1 year. No extensions. When the judge finished, my husband broke down. Tears. Shaking. His lawyer requested reconsideration. Denied. Outside the courtroom, his mother screamed at me again. His sister joined in. Security stepped in before it escalated further. I didn't respond. I walked out. For the first time since that Thursday night, I knew without doubt that this was over. Not just legally, emotionally. It's strange how quiet life becomes after chaos finally exhausts itself. 2 months after I dragged those suitcases to the curb, the divorce was officially finalized. No more hearings. No more emails from lawyers. No more late-night anxiety about what accusation might come next. Just a signed judgment and a clean break. The harassment stopped almost immediately. My lawyer told me his had likely warned him that any further antics could result in contempt charges. Whatever the reason, the noise disappeared, and in its place came something unfamiliar. Peace. The house felt different without him. Not empty or lighter. I repainted the bedroom first. New color, new furniture. I wanted no physical reminders of a marriage built on half-truths. I changed the layout of the living room, donated what I didn't want, kept only what felt like mine. I started therapy. Not because I missed him, but because betrayal rewires your instincts. I caught myself questioning small things, wondering if people were lying when there was no reason to doubt them. My therapist said it was normal. Trust doesn't break loudly, it fractures quietly, then echoes. My mother still apologizes for sending that photo. I keep telling her the same thing she gave me the truth. That's not something to regret. She admitted she'd noticed his behavior shifting months before too much phone secrecy excuses to leave early, unfamiliar cologne. She didn't say anything without proof. The club photo was proof. I lost some friends, the ones who believed his version without asking questions. I don't miss them. The circle is smaller now, but solid. That matters more. Work stabilized. HR officially expunged the false complaint. My boss wrote a letter stating it was malicious and baseless. The car was repaired. Cameras installed everywhere. My life became boring again. And that's the point. Financially, the spousal support stings, but it's temporary. $800 a month for a year. Manageable. A small price for clarity. I've dated casually. Nothing serious. I'm not rushing. Trust takes time, and I'm okay with that. I'd rather be alone than doubt my own reality again. The satisfaction isn't dramatic. There's no triumphant music. It's waking up without dread. It's coming home without tension. It's knowing I chose dignity over denial. He thought he could lie, sneak, manipulate, and return when caught. Thought consequences were optional.